I'm Bevan Cassahoon.
And I'm Taylor Epps. Welcome to Mission 21 of the Buffalo Niagara Honor Flight, presented to you by Westshore Automotive Group. This is a trip where our veterans from Western New York get to go to our nation's capital to see the monuments and memorials that are there in honor of their service.
But this 21st mission is also a first. It's the first all-women flight, honoring their sacrifices for our freedoms and celebrating their stories that in years past were often ignored or not respected.
So let us take you on the journey, sharing the voices of our veterans.
And celebrating these female veterans who are now getting the love and respect that they deserve.
Excitement from the very beginning. 35 female veterans and their guardians loaded the bus, preparing for the trip of a lifetime.
You deserve it. You definitely deserve it.
At the airport, a heartfelt send-off for our heroes from the next generation.
What do you think about this?
I love it.
Isn't this awesome?
Yeah. We didn't get the thank yous, so this is kind of like a healing thing for me to get a thank you.
Their next thank you would come from the cockpit.
Welcome, a special welcome to all of you, and thank you for all your service.
It's awesome, isn't it?
I'd like to welcome you to Bolton. It's a rainbow. Oh. That's a special.
Some of our guardians traveled in to be here today, like Brenda's daughter, who's serving nearby.
Now, we just made it to our first stop. It's the World War II Memorial. And while none of the women on this tour have served in World War II, it does have significant meaning to one.
A powerful journey to Washington, D.C. to honor her father, a World War II hero, in a personal way. Standing before the World War II Memorial, Air Force veteran Barbara Rogers carried more than just memories. She carried her father's legacy. During her service in the 70s, Rogers honored fallen heroes, carrying caskets, folding flags, and wearing a pair of white gloves.
The gloves, when I was in the Air Force, I carried caskets, guarded them, folded flags, and we wore white gloves. So as a tribute to my dad, I have my white gloves on. I have water that I got in the North Sea and sand that I got in the North Sea at Omaha Beach, because my dad on D-Day at 21 years of age made 6 trips from ship to shore, providing cover fire off the back of the landing craft to protect the men who were storming the beach. I wasn't able to get him here to his monument, and this is the closest I can get to honoring someone who made me who I am and was a member of the greatest generation. Dad, I will love you every day and then some.
So, beneath the Atlantic Arch, Barbara finally completed her mission.
So like the Trevi Fountain, this one's for you, Daddy.
While it was a full circle moment at the World War II Memorial, where one daughter honored her late veteran father, now she's part of history herself, among 35 women veterans on this first ever all-women honor flight out of the Queen City. This trip marks a milestone for the Honor Flight Network, which began 20 years ago as one man's promise to make sure no veteran was left behind. Co-founders Jeff Miller and Earl Moore started the nonprofit in 2005, helping more than 200,000 veterans visit their memorials free of charge. And on this trip, they were here in D.C. to greet these women veterans, honoring their courage and the barriers they continue to break.
Nobody could ever do it without you, and I'm glad you're here today getting your honor. So God bless you. Now go enjoy, okay?
Here we are at our next stop at the Vietnam War Memorial. There are more than 58,000 names on this wall. Most of the women who were on our trip served in the Vietnam War. I got to walk with one while she found a name on the wall.
Dawn Newvine served in the Army from 1963 to 1974. She was 23, working at a department store when she met a sergeant and told him she wanted to serve.
And 2 weeks later, I'm on my way to Fort McClellan, Alabama.
What does it mean to you to serve?
It was the best thing I ever did in my life. It really is. I would not be where I am right now.
Two of her brothers also served in the Vietnam War.
And it was a trying time. My brother flew into San Francisco from over there. And at that time, he actually had to change into civilian clothes and get out of his uniform, and he dared to walk in the street. That's the way it was.
Her brother-in-law, Wayne Jones, was still overseas when her sister gave birth to their fifth child.
They were going to meet in Hawaii for when he was reported that he was gone. I was in Fort MacArthur at that time in California. My mom called me and told me Wayne was missing. And then my brother was able to escort him home. It was a trying time for us. The whole family, yeah. We were 8 kids, you know. We all loved each other. And he also made the statement to my sister, I need to go so my kids don't have to.
His son, Dawn's nephew, continues to honor his father's legacy.
His son, Wayne?
Yes.
My nephew.
He's a volunteer here.
He's a volunteer here, yes.
She'll give this to her niece, Wayne's oldest daughter. And Dawn wants to give this piece of advice to any woman thinking about serving our country.
I think that they can do just anything that a man can do, and they should be able to prove it. Like the women we have here, I checked, and the youngest veteran here, and this is just the Vietnam veterans, is 71, and the oldest is 95. But these women went in, and I listened to some of the stories they were telling about what they did. Women can do anything a man can do, and that's why I think if you want to go in, go. I highly recommend it.
And just steps away from that moving tribute to fallen soldiers from Vietnam stands the Korean War Memorial. 93-year-old Navy veteran Mary Frances Brown, affectionately known to so many as Mother Mary, is surrounded by history and emotion. She's one of the few living African-American women who served during the Korean War. At that time, both her gender and race made her journey a difficult one. A courageous 20-year-old African-American woman who left her family home to serve as the Korean War was raging. Born in Kentucky and raised in Lackawanna, she joined the Navy during the height of segregation.
What was it that motivated you to join?
Excitement. I was young, and it was great to be in the Navy. I liked going Navy. The Navy wage, and everything was beautiful. I liked the uniform. It was nice.
After basic training in Maryland, Mary was stationed at the Naval Air Station in Washington, D.C., eventually rising to Chief Petty Officer. Now, being able to witness the memorial up close in person, honoring those who served alongside her.
It's overwhelming. Yeah, it's really getting me.
Earlier this year, she was also honored in Albany as a woman of distinction, recognized for her courage and trailblazing service. Her life philosophy is simple but powerful. Let your life be an example. Do things to the best of your ability and let your light shine. One of the trailblazing women on this trip served in multiple conflicts. Her most recent one was Operation Enduring Freedom, which happened 1 month after 9/11, which brings us here to the Pentagon 9/11 Memorial. At 75 years old, Chief Wendy York's story is one of grit, growth, and groundbreaking service. The Air Force veteran joined during a time when few women wore the uniform, and even fewer made it into the skies.
I started in 1974 during Vietnam, and then
retired in 2008.
York's journey began with a love for animals.
Oh, I wanted to be a veterinarian. And so I joined up. The Air Force had a job in the veterinary field as a veterinary technician. Now, don't worry, we'll turn you into EMT, a flying medic. And so they did.
She served around the world, from Vietnam to Operation Enduring Freedom. OEF started in October 2001, about a month after the 9/11 terrorist attacks in New York City.
I loved my job. As dangerous as it was from time to time, I still loved my job. As an aerovac technician, I was the first woman in my unit. I was the first woman on my base. Starting out, it was kind of difficult, but I was given some good advice just to keep learning your job. Always take that extra step, learn a little bit more, learn a little bit more. So I climbed through the ranks fairly quickly.
Now, decades later, Wendy calls it an honor to share the stories of the women who came before and after her.
The service teaches you respect for all people, teaches you that somebody has a worse day than you, and makes you very humble about everything.
For York, this visit to Washington, D.C., standing at the memorials alongside her sister and fellow veterans, became a full circle moment.
Military women know what you're talking about. We all are sisters. Having a total female flight is just totally bonkers.
A trailblazer, a teacher, and a lifelong airwoman, Chief Wendy York continues to soar on the shoulders of those who came before her and for those who will follow.
Okay, so we made it back here to the hotel for dinner, and after a long day of celebration, there's even more. This one is sure to bring a smile to your face. It's time for mail call.
It brings back memories, one of the highlights of their service. Each veteran got a pouch full of mail just for them. Drawings from grandchildren and words of gratitude.
Enjoy your honor flight. It is well deserved. It's an honor to know you.
Soldiers lifted from battlefields, clinging to life, have claimed nurses at their bedsides to be true angels. Your service as a nurse during Vietnam was critical to the support of our troops.
This is just like it was basic training in my first week of getting letters.
Mother Brown, wait in the back over by Nancy.
Then you have Senator April Baskin. Thank you for risking your life for mine and everybody else.
It's a long time coming, but going through that basic training and all these things that I went through and some of the tough times, and to get this today is just so overwhelming. I didn't do it for nothing. That's what it means to me.
Oh, a big letter. Oh my God. Oh, these are like so cool.
Donna LaMonica Sample served in the Army as a social worker during the Vietnam War.
You know, it brings back a lot of sad memories, but it was a wonderful time in the military. I loved everything about it. And I would have stayed in forever, except at that time of my life, my goal since I was tiny was two things: be a social worker. The Army gave me that. To be a mother of many children. And at that time, women could not have children in the military.
So she came back home and became a mother of 6.
They knew Mom was in the military. But there was no stories to share. Because remember, when we came back, whether you were in Vietnam or you stayed in the States, we were all baby killers.
She tells me no one back home could understand what it was like, which makes being here with these women so special.
Now let's talk about your other gift. You are a very gifted cook chef. You put your lasagna put so many Italian restaurants to shame.
Linda Nelson was a cook in the Army, featured in this 1975 newspaper doing what she knew was her calling.
When I went active duty in '74, I had to fight with everybody. My family didn't want me to go, and looking back now, I know it was the absolute best thing I could have done with my life.
And this trip confirms that.
I'm so glad I came, and I'm not the only one who did it. You know, we all did it.
There wasn't a lot of us. We struggled. So to hopefully open that door for that girl behind me, oh my God.
Which is exactly what they did.
Hello everyone, how you guys doing tonight? Good. So thank you guys for being such strong women and paving the way for me. So please.
Paving the way for Kaylee Johnston to be here. Sergeant Kaylee Johnston is one of a handful of women who have held this position overseeing the changing of the guard ceremony. Four women from our Buffalo Honor Flight were asked to take part in the laying of the wreath ceremony, a moment of immense pride and honor. On the left, Army Vietnam veteran Donna LaMonica Sample escorting Navy Korean veteran Sandy Caffery. And on the right, Marine Vietnam veteran Karen Barden escorting Air Force Cold War veteran Barb Gordon, donning their bright pink polo shirts representing Buffalo and all of Western New York, standing proud next to Sergeant Johnston. A deeply emotional ceremony, a powerful symbol of respect for those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, honoring the more than 400,000 soldiers interred at Arlington National Cemetery. As the women made their way toward the entryway of the tomb of the unknown soldier, they were greeted by male veterans on their own honor flight trip out of Texas, a crossover of gratitude and respect for each other's service. And then a sweet reunion with their beloved Sergeant Johnston, who they became friends with literally overnight, a conversation between generations separated by decades, but connected through a shared sense of duty, courage, and sisterhood. Before heading to the next monument, the women heard words of encouragement from a fellow veteran out of Missouri.
Our youth are our veterans and leaders of tomorrow, and women that are on this bus today, please share your story, because that is what will help the next generation answer the call. Thank you.
The wind really started to pick up at our next stop, the Air Force Memorial.
Oh my God, that is just like amazing.
You won't see Wendy Codet without a smile on her face.
It is windy. Now that's cool.
What does it mean to you to have served?
Oh, just the honor and knowing that you're protecting your country and the people, and wouldn't change it for anything.
Beaming with positivity about this trip and about her service in the Air Force from 1975 to 1995.
I would supply logistics. I worked with F-15. I would go out to the F-15 with some of the mechanics and troubleshoot radar, thing from the smallest screw to, the hotels and the biggest radar for the aircraft. Right. So you had to be able to juggle numbers a lot. So then after I got out, I became a math teacher and taught at South Park High School for 22 years.
She's positive, despite memories of being overlooked.
I think the guys always thought we were weak. Maybe they were more macho. I don't know. But it was definitely different. Like, I went into 75, a lot of career fields didn't open up until 85. And so we didn't have a lot of opportunities. A lot of us women were trailblazers. I wouldn't change it for anything, even though that's what brought my sickness with my Desert Storm, Because of the burn pitch, we really didn't know the danger back then. And I ended up with a lung disease called idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. It's terminal.
She got a double lung transplant 5 years ago.
And lungs don't last long, but I'm making the best of the time I got left. I've been to 48 states, and tonight at 3 o'clock I leave for Hawaii. That's my bucket list.
So she takes pictures, enjoys every moment, and cherishes the memories.
This next stop is the highlight of our trip. It doesn't matter when or where you served, or even the branch. This memorial is for everyone here with us.
It's the only historical building that documents all military women's service, where women veteran sacrifices are honored and their stories celebrated. The women got a chance to indulge in lunch in the exhibit gallery, unsuspecting of the surprise that they're about to receive next. Each veteran receiving a personalized gift, a photo from their time in uniform, and a moment to reflect on who they were when they served.
It looks like you're barking orders there.
Oh, yeah.
You're putting him in line.
For many, this day was about more than just a memory. It was about the recognition, connection, and pride.
off to Annapolis to visit the Naval Academy, a chance for the midshipmen who are preparing to join the service to meet our veterans and for these midshipmen to see their grandma.
So seeing her get off the bus is super cool, seeing her face light up.
Oh, I'm so proud of them. I just beyond proud. I was real excited to see them.
Colton is class of 2026 and Camden is class of 2028.
You know, going from Buffalo, where, you know, we're hardened by the cold, to being hardened by the Naval Academy. You know, it's been a great transition, and we were raised by, you know, amazing parents and grandparents.
Karen and her husband are both Marine veterans who served during Vietnam.
Well, I met my husband in the Marine Corps, so that's a good memory. We got married on base.
Gotcha.
We had our reception on base.
Beautiful.
And it's been 56 years.
And now their grandchildren are carrying the torch.
We're only at this school because of her, and kind of a lot of the interviews we go through, her name gets brought up, and just kind of, oh, we have a Marine grandmother, and not a lot of people can say that. My grandma was a Marine, has been super influential in just how we've been raised, how she raised my mother, and she, you know, keeping the Marines in the family, hopefully. We'll see.
A bit later, a group of us got to take a closer look at the Naval Academy campus, including this chapel, built in 1906.
Yes, isn't it gorgeous?
Navy veteran Marcia Gellin was wowed by the history and the architecture.
Oh my gosh, it's just incredible.
But just as awe-inspiring are her stories of her time at Great Lakes Naval Hospital in the 1970s.
Where do you want to go? And I said, East Coast or West Coast. So they said, oh, you got the coast of Lake Michigan. This was the day after graduation. I couldn't even go out to dinner with my parents the night I graduated because I had to be at Great Lakes Naval Hospital at 0600 the next morning.
She was supposed to train for 8 weeks, but they needed her help after only 2 or 3.
Which was really hard. I was on 16-hour shifts, like 3 in the afternoon till 7 in the morning. And I was assessing people who were being flown in from Vietnam, who were very critically ill.
Her job was to assess them as they were coming in, to see how long they could survive without surgery, waiting with soldiers until they could get the care they needed.
Hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It was. Not only was it that job that was hard, but the fact that when I looked at one person who was really sick and I didn't know if he'd make it through the night, when I read his records, he was only 17.
She was only 20 and proud to serve her country however she could.
There's always someone who needs care that either has to wait longer for it or they're not sure what their choices are, and you just do the best you can around it. That's all you can do.
These women, our local heroes who gave their best for our country. And while the tours ended here, the celebration did not.
Buffalo Niagara Honor Flight, certified female veterans.
Out of all of our veterans, the Honor Flight crew picked one to take home a flag to commemorate the trip. Mary Lee Sukowski.
How could it be more special? I was a Navy nurse, lieutenant, for 7 years. It's really wonderful to be honored for that.
She'll bring this home along with memories that'll stick with her forever.
It's time we were all recognized, and we sure were this weekend.
There's nothing like it. Nothing like it in the world, being with all these military women at one time.
I would do it again.
Well, I think there's about 2,000 people waiting away.
A lot of tears. God bless. Thank you.
This is so cool. I never expected this, ever.
I can't believe it. It's awesome.
Did you expect this?
No, it's overwhelming.
Did you love it?
I love it.
Oh my gosh, you deserve every bit. We go right back.
Yeah, this is my thing.
They're beautiful.
These trips change lives. If you've ever seen one of these honor flights before, you know the effect it can have on our heroes. But this one is different. This one had more singing. This one had more hugs. This one was warmer. Because of these women who are once again making history. After the trip of a lifetime in about 36 hours, telling their stories, sharing their voices, and making memories. Bonding in service and in sisterhood. Mission 21 is complete.